So I received actually read a question online by somebody who had asked, "Can I run a marathon?" And I mean, my answer would be yes, you can. I mean, anybody can really run a marathon. I'm not a believer in limits, never have been, never will be. I think it comes down to how tenacious and how committed you truly want to be, regardless what goal it is. If it's run a marathon or lose weight or if you got a financial goal or if you want to start a business, regardless of what it is, I mean, it comes down to your mindset and what you really want to do. I've always been a big believer in that. Um, but in regards to the marathon, it's really going to just take time. I mean, can you run a marathon? Yes. How badly do you truly want to do it? Are you interested in running a marathon, or are you fully committed to running a marathon? I think that's the question that really needs to be asked when it comes to asking a question like, "Can I run a marathon?" Uh, the fact that if you're one of those individuals that are asking that question, I think it's a patience and uh, long-term planning type goal. It takes. I would definitely recommend anywhere from 4 to 5 months to strategically set out a training plan for a marathon. If you truly are committed and you really want to run a marathon, um, I would definitely give yourself at least 12 weeks, preferably 16 or 20 weeks to prepare, uh, at 100% for a marathon race. There's a lot of things that go along with training for a marathon. Obviously, you have to be um, consistent with your training. That being said, you don't have to be so serious like, okay, I want to go out and I want to run a 2 hour and 30-minute marathon. There's a lot of things that go along with running a time like that. But to complete a marathon, for a lot of people, it's just as difficult as it is for somebody that wants to, run an elite time like a 2:30 or, sub 3 hour marathon. It's a very, very difficult time to run. And it takes a lot of different, there's a lot of variables that go along with trying to run a marathon that fast. But for a lot of people that they've never run a marathon in their life, maybe they've never even run a 5K. Uh, they're asking the question, "Can I run a marathon?" That's a legitimate question. A lot of people have doubts, like they're unsure that they have the capability to run 26.2 miles or 42.1 kilometers and survive that. And it's normal to have those questions and sometimes doubts in your mind, but anything can be done. There's a If your mindset is set on something, I don't care what it is. I take all my background from sports and I try to put it into what I do in life. I'm I'm married, so for me, I have to continue to work to be a better husband. I'm in school right now as well, in business school, so trying to prioritize uh, my studies along with full-time work and then training on top of that. You have to prioritize what you really want to do. And if it's a marathon, you really want to do 26.2 miles and you want to get out there and you want to compete. You have to fully commit to it and believe that, okay, I'm not just interested in doing this. I'm fully committed. I'm going to do what it takes to run and complete a marathon. And RunDreamAchieve.com. I've had it for over 7 years. There's a lot of articles on there. If you check on the archives uh, tab in the menu, that's a great resource for you to go back through there and kind of see some of the articles I've written over the years. Presently, I'm going back through all of my posts and kind of revising some of the information I have on those. It's going to take me a long time to do. Probably the next month. It's probably going to take me a full month to do it. But there's a lot of information on there that can help you out. If it is a goal you have right now to run your first marathon. And obviously, there's a lot of excitement that goes along with competing in a marathon. You're around other competitors and other people, great people that are out there, either for charity or going out there to compete for a specific time. Everybody's got a different goal and reason why they run the marathon. But in my opinion, can you run a marathon? Yes. The question is, how diligent and how committed are you to truly doing it? There's a lot of everybody wants to do something, but there's obviously a process that's involved that isn't always that comfortable. And it's the marathon is basically you have to get comfortable with being uncomfortable quite often in training. It doesn't mean you have to go out and immediately start running, 40 to 50 miles a week your first week. You don't have to be in a rush to do this. Like I said, if you set your training up for a 16-week block or 20 week at the very longest, I mean, a 5-month block of training is plenty of time to be optimally prepared to run a marathon. But there's a lot of things that go along with it. So you have to, once you've fully committed to run a marathon. I'm not just interested. I'm going to go in all in. I'm ready to do this. Then you start planning, and there are on the website there are training programs that I've created. Just click on the shop tab in the navigation menu. There is anywhere from 4-week all the way up to 16-week marathon training plans that I've created for beginners to the advanced level marathoners. So with you doing this for the first time, definitely check out one of the beginner plans. If you want to just kind of test the waters, try 4 weeks, and then after the 4-week training block, then maybe get yourself a 12-week plan, or just buy a 16-week plan. Regardless, but all of those training plans that I've built are created around building up the stamina for the distance runner focused on the marathon. So again, it comes down to commitment. How bad do you truly want to do this? And the marathon is an exciting event. There's marathons all over the world. So and I've been fortunate enough to compete in the U.S. and in Europe, marathons all over the world. So I've been very blessed in that. But I too had the same question: can I run a marathon? I didn't think when I was in high school that I'd ever be a marathon runner. So I encourage you to continue to pursue it. Definitely RunDreamAchieve.com is a great resource for you. I'm definitely willing to help any way I can. Leave a comment below this video if you got a question, further questions regarding the marathon distance itself, something that maybe you have doubts about or you're curious about. Feel free to contact me on the website as well. I definitely don't mind helping folks out that are interested in doing this. So can you run a marathon? Yes, you can. And it will take commitment on your part. It will take a time investment, but again, it's not you're going out there to experience the distance, test the waters, see what you can do, and it's not a case where you immediately first time out you have to go out. Man, I got to run a Boston Marathon qualifying time, or I need to run and maybe you might have that goal, and that's awesome. So if those, everybody's got a time in mind regardless. Okay, I want to run the marathon, and I don't know. I've never run the marathon in my life. I don't know, 4 hours and 45 minutes, 5 hours, 3:30. You might have a time goal in mind, but my personal opinion, with almost 3 decades of running, I can tell anybody, I could get anybody off the street. I don't care if they're overweight or if they have an athletic background, but have never run a marathon, and I can get them prepared to run a marathon and complete it. And it's a huge goal in and of itself just to finish a marathon. The faster you get in the distance, I mean, I've been around people that have, I think probably the fastest marathoner I've personally trained with, was a guy named Gilbert Ruto. He was from Kenya, and his PR was 2 hours, 10 minutes, 1 second. And I've also trained with an Olympian named Dan Brown, who was my teammate when I was with the Army World Class Athlete Program. And he ran exactly 8 minutes faster than my best for the marathon. And he ran 2 hours, 11 minutes, and 35 seconds. And my best is 2 hours, 19 minutes, and 35 seconds. So I've been around some very, very, very big boys in training, and gals for that matter. I've also trained with some phenomenal elite women as well. And you definitely learn a lot, and you're in some great company in regards to that. But so I have a lot of background with it. I love helping people. I've been writing a lot of posts on the website, but I've just recently started making videos. My wife, I definitely give credit to her, because she's been telling me for years. She's like, you need to get behind, start making videos, there's people out there that need your help and need your advice, but You can only write so many posts, and there's a point where you got to make some videos and help people. So give credit to her for that, for sure, and a lot of other things. Um, but yeah, can you run a marathon? You can, and it comes down just to your personal goals, what you have in mind. And like I said, I could take somebody totally overweight or somebody that's got an athletic background, and I could make them a marathoner in a matter of weeks. Definitely a matter of months. Weeks add up, obviously, over time. And runners do it all the time. There's people that never run a marathon in their life. They go out and they do it. They run phenomenal time. Man, I'm excited. I want to try that again. And then there's others that, man, I don't ever want to run a marathon again. I've had those times too myself. But you get over it after a few days, and then you kind of get the itch again. You're like, okay, I ran it in this time. Made these mistakes in the race. I can correct that. I can fix that. Uh, but yeah, you can run a marathon. Just be excited about it and be motivated. And hope this video was helpful for you. And that's my answer. Can you run a marathon? Yes. Question is, what are your goals? One main question is, are you interested in running it, or are you fully committed to doing it? Because if you're fully committed and you've made the decision, then you got to act on that decision. You've got to take action. So with that, have a great evening, have afternoon, wherever you are in the world. Great morning, and till the next video.